Hey, how's it going? So I wanted to do a video for a proper analysis of Stadia. This is, I don't see it's going to be a lengthy video. It might end up being lengthy, we'll see. But I'm going to start from the very beginning of this. I'm only making content because I'm not satisfied about the other content that's out there. The media really has wanted to kind of kill Stadia from day one, and I'll explain all that. It ain't perfect for sure, but it really shouldn't be. So anyway, if you guys had followed gaming news, I think it was in June, they announced this product, and what it does is it allows you to do all the computing. It's a gaming concept where you don't have to have a console. You're actually using like either a Chromecast or your phone, and the processing of the game happens on the cloud, and then you're playing the game either on your Chromecast or your phone, and you see the game on the screen, and then you control it, and then the control input goes back to the cloud. There is obviously a lot of hurdles in this, depending on your internet provider's issues or lack thereof. I actually got to participate in the beta of this product last year. Had I not participated in this beta, I would not have invested in this product because of all the hurdles, and who knows how it would have gone had I not had firsthand experience. My firsthand experience in November, I played about an hour of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The game ran at 1080p fine through my Chrome browser. In about the hour that I played, there was probably 30 seconds where it dropped between like 40 and 720p. But a little 30-second drop was pretty impressive to me for what was like a pre product. I mean, it was just they were testing a concept. It wasn't, I guess I would consider us to be in a beta at this point, and that's what a lot of people kind of tend to forget. But I was really impressed. So June they announced this product and service. I decided to go all in on it because when you consider the concept itself, it pretty much will be the next big step in gaming. Why would I say that? Because, games on Xbox and PlayStation and stuff look great, is that you do have a lot of limitations you're working with, like the size of a hard drive. Games like Red Dead Redemption 2, they're pretty massive. I think that game's almost like 100 gigs. It's pretty huge. With that, they're still limited to how big the world is and the map and stuff. If you move the gaming process to a server, you can make games that are terabytes in size. So you have, maps that are multiple times bigger, or more characters, or more costumes, or more vehicles, etc., more story. You can make a much more massive game when you take away the limitations of local storage. The online aspect as well has a lot more potential. They've already been talking about with Grid to be able to do 40-player races, which is something we've never had on the console experience, just due to physical limitations of hardware. I would consider my signing up for this beta to be casting my ballot of, yes, you have my vote to do this. Let's see what the next big step in gaming is. It wasn't just a fluke thing, because, Google was doing it, and now, Microsoft has their service now that they're testing out. And so far I'm hearing really good things about that. And I actually have the beta. I don't know what it is with me, but every time I sign up for a beta, they always let me do stuff. So I have that beta, and I guess I'll probably test it too. But I've heard good things already, so we're going to see how that goes whenever I get to play with it. And I might do a video depending on how I feel about it. But I'm doing a video about this because of all of the bullshit that I'm seeing coming from places like IGN and Kotaku, and even, vloggers on YouTube that I used to kind of respect that I ended up unfollowing because they're being so fucking dramatic about it. There are reasons to complain about Stadia, but not the reasons everyone's bitching about. And a lot of people just need to understand some things. You can't go to a Walmart right now and go buy Stadia. You know why? Because this is not a finished product. This is a beta that we bought into. This is not, something you can go online and order. We signed up as founders knowing that this was a test. If you don't know this, you just weren't fucking paying attention, I guess. I expect some bugs, and there are some bugs we're going to discuss in this product. Beyond that, the final product is going to be launching probably spring of next year from what they're talking about. Despite its flaws, I am actually impressed because, I once it actually was like the 19th and things were supposed to be up and rolling, my optimism really started to dwindle a little bit, and it started to turn into a bit of a sour experience. But I got my hands on it last night. I played about an hour or so last night. I played about an hour this morning, and I feel a lot more optimistic now. So what else were we going to say about this? Yeah, so let's go ahead and address some of the concerns. Even being a beta, we want it to be the best it can be. I'm seeing a lot of reviewers showing some pretty severe lag. I think they were playing like Destiny, and I was seeing almost a second delay when they would hit the jump and the character would jump. That's not really on Stadia. That's on your service provider. Now, you really should have expected this. If you were a founder, you got an email months ago with a speed test that said, hey, let's check your internet connection to see if you can run Stadia. If it runs like shit, you had the option to cancel and opt out, because it's not for everybody, because I am kind of a best case scenario. I have all of the right stuff. It runs as good as it's going to run. I saw some of the reviewers do some shit as stupid as testing it on their work wireless internet, that are not configured for gaming or anything like that. And I mean, come on, if you're a gaming journalist, you should fucking know better. Not only that, like I said, you had the email, you had the option to see how it would run, you could test it anywhere, and if you got less than optimal results, you could have opted out. That's your dumbass fault for not reading the email and not taking those steps. So anyway, I think you could cancel right up until it shipped. So I ran the original test, when I signed up, and it said it was like a pretty good connection here. We pay for a higher speed internet. And, I was like, okay, I might not get an optimal experience, but I'll get a halfway decent experience. We're just going to keep trucking with this. Go to about a month ago, and, I was really doing some research on my network, because we pay for almost a half a gig of internet speed here, and we were not getting it at that time. So I wanted to see what I could do about it. After a good bit of homework and review reading and research, I read about Google actually having a Wi-Fi router. If you read the reviews, they're almost universally positive for a lot of good reasons. So we got that, and I set it up, and I had an immediate boost in my internet, not only through internet speeds, but response time and things like that. Outside of this Stadia, if you were a gamer and you might be having subpar internet, and you have what you should be getting better internet speeds, I would highly recommend you buy that Google Wi-Fi. It's $99, very well spent, Stadia or not. But we had that, and then I ran the test again after, and it was like, yeah, you got the fastest internet that you're going to need. This will be an optimal experience. So I was like, fuck yeah, I'm going to be the best candidate for this. It was time to upgrade too, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we ended up getting the Pixel 4 XLs. And part of my decision was swayed by the compatibility with Stadia. I mean, if it was not a great phone, I wouldn't have bought it. And that's a whole nother video, because the reviews missed a lot of stuff on it. I actually think the Pixel 4 XL is a great phone. I don't know about the 4. I hear it does not have great battery life, but this has perfectly fine battery life. Anyway, I've got the Pixel phones. I've got Google Wi-Fi. I got fast internet. I have 4K TV. I have everything that one would need to have an optimal experience. My internet service provider does not have a data cap. I know a lot of you guys do have internet with data caps. If you have a data cap, you might want to second guess buying this. I want to try to find a way to see how much real life data this uses in a month, and I can chime back, because some of the quotes of what they expected the service would use sounded extremely high. I don't know if that sounded realistic or not. And if it is, and you have a data cap, you probably don't want to do this yet. But yeah, so anyway, I 19th came and went, and I didn't get my product, and I'm like, what's going on here? And they addressed it. I guess there was, some delays. They really could have made a better announcement on it to let people know, because the only reason I really knew was I heard other people gripe about it. I think they said something about it, and I went back and looked at my order, and it showed it was to be delivered between the 20th to the 22nd. So it's like, okay, I might have to wait a day for it, but it's not a regular product launch. It's a beta, so cool your fucking pants. 20th, yesterday rolled around, but my concern was I was at work and I still hadn't there's an access code you have to access this gaming platform with the hardware, and I hadn't gotten it up to like 2 o'clock, and I was starting to get a little pissed, because, and even not like a lot pissed, but just a little pissed, because I just would have been a little irked if I came home and there was this really nice controller and this really nice Chromecast Ultra, and I can't fucking use it. I said something about it on Twitter, and maybe it was a coincidence, but I'm not kidding you. 2 minutes later, boom, there was my access code in my email. So I was like, okay, we have everything. We are good to go to try out this Stadia platform and see what's up with it. So yeah, I came home. It took me about 15 minutes to set everything up. And yeah, I ran probably as good as I could possibly imagine it would run. We started out with some Destiny 2 on it. From what I understand, for some odd, stupid reason, Bungie capped it at 1080p. And in my experience, that really wasn't necessary. It looked perfectly fine. It ran fine. There was probably less than a quarter second lag I noticed between actions and the button. Now, if you're a competitive gamer, it's in fucking testing. I wouldn't play competitive gaming on this thing because there is a bit of lag, and apparently they've got they're working on fixing it through AI and other crazy shit that they're working on right now. But no, I would not probably competitively play this. I don't know how I would feel about PvP. PvE, it was perfectly fine for me. I'm not the best gamer in the world, but I was having no problems playing Destiny 2. Other than I'm not that great at a lot of games. So, but I had, where I fucked up was on me, just like every other game that I played, but I was not due to some sort of a lag issue or anything like that. I really was trying to pay hard attention because I've got a 4K TV, and I was really watching for any kind of tearing. Didn't have any tearing. A little bit of funky shifting effects here and there for a fraction of a second that went away. No big deal. I was like, okay, this is pretty good. We then jumped into Samurai Shodown, and no surprise, I fucking suck at fighting games, but looked gorgeous, played really smooth. I got my ass beat because I'm not good at fighting games, not because of the game itself. I would be interested to see someone who is actually good at fighting games play this Samurai Shodown on my TV and see what they think on it. But anyway, we moved on. I was like, yeah, this is what I wanted. This feels like a best case scenario. So I went and grabbed Metro Exodus. It's on a special sale through them right now for us founders. And that was the impressive experience. So I played that more than anything else. And the game's a lot prettier. As far as I can tell, to the best of my vision, it appears to be running at 4K. I have my glasses on and shit. And I understand, the Metro series is known for having really good graphics. And to see the crystallizing ice on the edge of your gas mask. The textures look really gorgeous. Some of the character animations in that game were okay, but that's the game, that's not Stadia. But I would say overall it's a much prettier game to look at on Stadia than Destiny 2 was. But yeah, it played pretty smooth last night, and yeah, I went to bed pretty satisfied with my purchase. Other than the minor gripe of the delay of a day, whoopty shit. Like I said, it's not a console launch, it's just beta. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm finding myself pretty irritated with all the shitty reviews that I'm seeing, so that's why I wanted to make this video. So this morning I fired Metro back up and started to play it again, and the biggest issue I noticed happened this morning. I played it for about 10 minutes and I paused it, took a bathroom break and came back. And after that bathroom break, there was some serious lag for about 2 to 3 minutes where the game was kind of glitching out graphically, a noticeable delay in controls. But after about 2 or 3 minutes, it went right back to running the way it was last night. Because I was some concerns I have on this service due to my internet provider is depending on how many people are on the internet at the same time on my internet provider. I was expecting maybe some bog down or lag, but honestly, that should have occurred last night, around 7 when everybody should be watching their Disney Plus or watching their Netflix. And I had zero problems last night. Not a lot of people get up early like I do. I get up at 5 every morning, and I was playing it around 6 to 7-ish. And like I said, the only issue I had is when I paused it, it kind of fucked it up a little bit. But really, that's a minor gripe for a test. So we're going to move on to the reviews and stuff that I'm seeing, and I want you to look yourself, because you'll notice IGN has spent a lot of time shitting on it from day one. One of my former favorite YouTubers, RGT85, has been acting like an absolute fucking grandpa, crying about it like someone's going to come take his arcade cabinets away. And which was really disappointing to me, because I really enjoyed his videos until he started to be a little bitch about it. And one video, it's fine, you voiced your opinion, but just over and over and over, you're just either being clickbait or you're being a twat waffle, and you need to shut the fuck up. It really just got on my nerves. And then, Kotaku did a review, but we all know that Kotaku has brain damage. They're a garbage site, but I still wanted to see what they were saying. And it's funny because if you look at the Kotaku review, the experience that the guy had was pretty similar to mine, where it ran pretty smooth. And the guy was sitting there bitching about the fact that there are a lot of features that are coming to Stadia that aren't baked in yet. Once again, this is like a beta or whatnot. I don't know exactly what phase it is, but it is not release phase. So, of course, some of the chat features and some of the screenshotting features that they have in it that are fucking awesome when they come out are not out yet. It's fine, whatever. We're testing shit. It's coming. Now, if we fast forward to its actual release date and that shit's not working, then let's bitch, okay? But, that he was bitching about, like, because those features weren't working, that he's like, this is not the feature. I'm like, dude, you're fucking beta testing this shit. And it's funny because then I get up this morning and they did the same review style on the Xbox service and almost the same commentary that he had on it, as far as like the quality of gameplay and stuff. But overall, it gave like a pretty positive review of the service with the exact same, pluses and minuses. Just like, why are you sucking Microsoft's dick? Like this is just kind of silly. Like if it's the same experience. And even the comment section, I mean, it's going to be an echo chamber like any other comment section is, where everyone talks shit about how they knew Stadia was always going to fail. And then everyone's talking, relative praise on the Microsoft service. And it's just like, it's the same shit. It's the same fucking thing. It runs the same right now, Now, if you were a founder like me and you still don't have your codes, yeah, I understand why you're a little sore about that. If you're a misinformed person who is just going by, major gaming news websites, well, I'm sorry for your ignorance, but I still understand where you're coming from, because what they say sounds like it makes sense unless you've actually tried it. Until you have tried it, you do not know. I have tried it. I own it. I know. And yeah, so addressing the actual problems of the Stadia, at least that I'm seeing for some people, is your fucking internet service provider. And I'm going to tell you, I'm glad that both Google is doing this, that Microsoft is doing this, because not only are we promoting a moving forward of the gaming industry towards something that has more potential, more importantly, it's putting heat on your internet service provider to get its fucking shit together. Because whoever succeeds in this, if Microsoft succeeds in this, if Sony succeeds in this, whoever does, the internet service provider who will give you internet without a data cap, with a faster, more consistent internet speed, with less response issues, is going to be the one that gets the money. They need heat on them to get it the fuck together. Because I do not live in New York City. I do not live in Atlanta. I live in the middle of South Carolina. There's no reason, if you live in a major metropolitan area, that you don't have the same internet service that I do. Come on. But yeah, I mean, that's the good thing, is it's going to make the internet companies that get their shit together when this becomes the thing. When this will be the thing, I don't know. It could take a year. It could take 10 years till it's the thing. But this is the beginning of the thing. This is the next fucking step. I don't know if you guys remember when internet gaming or when online gaming first came out, it kind of blew. And look where we are now. So anyway, so that's my thoughts on Stadia. I'm trying to think if I have anything else to really say about it. Oh, the controller. Holy shit, I really like the controller. They did a good job. I was just kind of expecting a standard fare Xbox clone controller, but really notable thing about this controller is the way that they designed it specifically. I have massive hands. My wife has tiny hands. It feels good to both of us because they've engineered it to where no matter what size your hands are, it sits in your hands really well. Oh yeah, I am forgetting. So this is going to be a long video. We're already at 19 minutes. The other thing to address with it as well, right before I made this video, I went ahead and tested it out on the Pixel 4 XL. And per the other reviews, that's one thing that is universal. On the Pixels, the shit runs great. Basically, you take the cord that was provided with your Pixel, because it's a USB-C to USB-C. You have to directly plug the controller into the phone. But yeah, I fired it up and picked right up where I left off on Metro Exodus and played it, and it looked gorgeous. Now, you're going to have the limitations of the fact that the screen is physically smaller. That is going to be aggravating for stuff with a lot of text. So I am hoping actually that I have actually a really nice tablet, the Tab S6. I'm hoping that they port Stadia gameplay to the Tab S6, because it does have a USB-C port, which should be technically compatible with this controller. With a much bigger screen, I'm going to be able to see text better. That, I think, will be the optimal way to play this on the go, is via my tablet. But yeah, pretty badass. Now, I own a Switch. I own a gaming PC. By no means am I going to stop playing them. That is not what this is about. I still play Super Nintendo games. No one's coming to take that shit away. So chill the fuck out. A lot of people are acting that way. Like, check yourself and check your behavior. Like, no one's coming to take your old shit away. I own a hacked PlayStation Classic. I own a hacked original Xbox. I play the fuck out of retro games. It's probably more my favorite than the newer games, but it's not the future. That's the past, and we're just enjoying the past. But the past is the past, and it's time to embrace the future as it comes. So I guess my advice to you guys is, let's see how this goes, over the next quarter or so as they develop this product. I know there's been a lot of complaint about how Google will drop products, but let's say worst case scenario, and they did drop the product. At the end of the day, you've got a Chromecast Ultra. You can now watch 4K video on your TV. We did some of that last night with this Chromecast Ultra, and it looked fucking gorgeous. And you got a controller that is actually compatible with the systems. It's Bluetooth. You can use it on your PC. You can use it on anything else that runs Bluetooth. Both of which you got at a cheaper price than you would have just went and bought one. Because the Chromecast Ultras are kind of pricey, but you essentially end up getting like, I think, a $10 to $15 discount with this hardware, plus the 3 months of the Ultra service, plus the Destiny 2, the entirety of the fucking game. So you wouldn't even be at a loss if this completely shit the bed and fell off the face of the earth. I highly doubt that's going to happen because, like I said, there are competitive services that are getting interest in this product. So we're going to see how this goes, but yeah, this needed to be said, because when I get frustrated because so many other people are having misinformed, stupid fucking opinions, not talking about, the actual issues and severe bias and butthurt. There are issues, but they're not the issues that people are bitching about. Overall, I'm very satisfied with it. I do not regret getting it at all. So that's that.